Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills, the voice commentary from a singer. And tonight, oh my God, these kids were singing for their life. I'm telling you, everybody was pulling out their best game. So let me tell you what happened. It's the top 8 semifinals and the contestants are singing for their lives. Did I say that already? They were singing. Did I say it already? Each of the finalists are going to perform twice. 1 a solo and 2 a duet. This season the duets also count towards the vote and half of them are going home tomorrow night. It is going to be serious. We started out with Team Gwen's Hunter Plakey did With or Without You by U2, and I actually thought for some reason that this was going to be an Usher song, but it actually made more sense, this being the song for Hunter. He had the guitar to start this with a bass man and the lead guitar flanking him. The beginning sounded really calming in his voice and he was really eating the mic. It was all up in here, you know, he was making sure that all those low notes were being heard. The band had a great drive going and the drums were elevated above the stage behind him, and this really took a while to take off though, because he had the really light stuff and it was sounding good, but I was like, when is he gonna do something? When is he gonna go somewhere? But by the time he got to the anthem called the all that, I was all in. I was so much enjoying it. He brought some really good angst to his emotion on this, and I believed it. All the coaches stood for him. Blake said it was his best vocal by a mile and told him when he opens his mouth he doesn't sound like anybody else. Alicia said she was totally at his concert. Adam called it the most straightforward production, saying it was refreshing and super cool. Then we had our first duet. It was Vanessa Ferguson and Chris Blue. Lord, we've been waiting on this. Oh my God, I think everybody been waiting on this. They did If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys. So we got a confessional for each duet performance instead of rehearsal footage for this. And Vanessa started it out on stage alone, and Chris entered crooning from the audience. Loved their harmony, and both their voices were so clear and present. They had good chemistry with Vanessa being a little flirty. Chris was giving me chills on his verse, and the way they caressed their way into the second harmony was like, oh my God, that's so good. Of course, Chris pulled out the scat and knocked me dead. This was all kinds of wonderful, y'all. I'm just all kinds of, very much enjoyed them together, and all the coaches stood for them. Naturally, this was just great. Then we had Team Blake's T-Soul. He did Ain't No Way by Aretha Franklin. Ain't no way. Ow, for me to love. Okay, go ahead on and sing. Blake told him to really wail on the falsetto because he felt like he was just testing the waters at the moment during rehearsal. And I was trying to find him on stage as this started out, and finally I spotted him over there in the corner, and he was super fly in his pink suit. His voice sounded really excellent on this tune and the perfect genre for his style. They gave this real old school production with background singers on stage, and the on-stage set was just amazing. When he came out to center stage to sing to the girl and did that modulation, his voice was just like, oh, all up in there, just beautiful. And I felt like he was really giving us everything he had. Great emotion from him. Really enjoyed it. Alicia called it his Otis Redding interpretation of Aretha Franklin and loved how he begged after the woman on stage. Team Gwen then had Brenda Brown do Suds in the Bucket by Sarah Evans, and she played guitar in rehearsal, and Gwen told her to use all the character in her voice, saying she wanted to untrain her a little bit. Gwen also told her to talk like she's talking to her friends while she's telling this story. She also had her guitar for the onstage performance and was working those shoulders and look a little older than her age. I liked how she threw in a few little runs here and there and really didn't have much of a country twang on the verses. It was sometimes hard to hear her over the band, but she was really trying. I mean, every time I heard her, she was trying to enunciate those words really good, strumming with a lot of energy and giving us the shoulder. Not as touching as many of her performances, but definitely some genuine emotion and lots of star power. But for me, you know, it seemed to go on a little long. Or was it just me? I don't know. I was just like, okay, is it over? No. Is it over? No. Is it over? Blake said it felt like they were watching a 15-year-old tonight. And if you feel like you're watching a 15-year-old tonight, make sure to thumb up the commentary and let me know that you are watching. I really appreciate it. It's been so great riding with y'all all season. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments and thank you for your thumbs. Our next duet was Aaliyah Molden and Hunter Plake. They did Let It Go by James Bay. And you could see her nervous energy as she started this out, and she sounded really good starting the song. Of course, Hunter sounded excellent, and their harmony was a little irksome. I wanted it to be great, but something just wasn't meshing. It was a little off. They both sounded good when they did their solos, and I liked how Aaliyah sang to the audience and then to Blake. You know, she was playing the little levels here and there. Aaliyah's voice really sounds unfinished and raw next to Hunter's more affected and polished delivery, but this was okay. Next up was Team Blake. Lauren Dusky did Ghost in the House by Shenandoah, and Blake told her it needs to have some strength and wanted her to sing out in rehearsals. He sang a little bit of it for her to let her know what he really wanted. Such a nice vocal quality as Lauren started this out on stage. She evoked a definite feeling of desolation and loneliness, and her upper range was mesmerizing. I found myself getting a little lost in the story she was telling as she was walking down stage, and she really does have a beautiful tone and knows how to control her vibrato and use it just where it's needed on those higher notes. This had me on the edge of tears, y'all, and it was totally by surprise. By the end, I was just like, okay, you better go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Nice work, really nice work. Adam mentioned her grace and simplicity, calling her pure and genuine. Our third duet of the night was T-Soul and Jesse Larson. They did I Wish by Stevie Wonder. Great song. And from the start, I was grooving along and I was noticing that T-Soul has more of a muted sound while Jesse is brighter with more bite. They both sounded great on the song, and they cut a little step together before going into the audience. Both of them did some really interesting melody changes, but kept pretty close to the original. And this was enjoyable and a lot of fun. Next up was Team Alicia with Chris Blue doing Take Me to the King by Tamala Mann. Oh no, I can't handle it. I can't take it. In rehearsal, Alicia wanted him to do falsetto after the bridge and told him to decide what it actually means to him and make it personal. On stage, this started out very small, and I was just waiting and anticipating what was to come, you know, because I know he was going to show out on it. He was way up on this block above the audience, and some of the projections on the thing were a little distracting for me. A choir came out just before the bridge, and he really went all in on this, then broke it down, but didn't really go into the falsetto like she had said right after the bridge. But it got very emotional, and he really performed this like he was at a gospel concert, and that big falsetto moment gave me chills. Oh, all except Adam stood for him, and Gwen looked like she was about to cry. Did y'all see that? Next up, we had Team Alicia with Vanessa Ferguson do a Superstar by Luther Vandross, and Alicia told her to hold the ending and drop back down, then showed her what she meant by singing it to her. So Vanessa started this out. You saw she was wearing a dress and looked amazing. Her voice kind of reminded me of like old Gladys Knight in places with a fluttering vibrato and just the tone and timbre of those low notes. Her notes really sailed when she hit those big, strong, high notes and poured on the emotion. This is probably her best vocal performance so far, and she really bent into it vocally and emotionally. I was just enjoying her movements and just the way she sounded was so beautiful. Our last duet of the night was Brindley Brown and Lauren Dusky. They did Good Hearted Woman by LeAnn Rimes, and this started out with a lot of pace and kind of surprised me. I thought they were going to do something a little slower, but this was a good surprise. Brindley sounded good as she started out, but Lauren sounded much clearer vocally. Brindley brought a lot of bite to this performance also, while Lauren was way laid back and smooth with it. Lauren was also first off her seat to go and sing to the crowd, and their harmony together was very good, and that slide guitar feature was a nice touch. Their styles and approach on this were so different, but they both shine on this performance in their own manner. I really enjoyed that Lauren was Lauren and Brindley was Brindley, but it just came together very nicely. Next up, we had Team Adam with Jesse Larson doing I Was Wrong by Chris Stapleton. And woo, Adam told him to give him a long note at one point in the song during rehearsal. And good to see Jesse doing a song from Chris's new album. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's on all the sites and stuff. I really enjoyed it. Jesse had his guitar for this one and had the high ring to his voice on full display as he started out. His voice sounded so great on this before he even got into much of the grit of the song. He handled those runs well on the title line and then gave us a guitar solo. The way he wails on those notes, Joe, is just gold, and Adam was on his feet watching another stellar performance tonight with great vocals and emotion, plus, of course, stellar guitar work. I really enjoyed this. This might just be enough to get him into the finale. And in the pimp spot, we had Aaliyah Molden doing I Can Only Imagine by Mercy Me. And Blake was worried about some pocket issues she was having during rehearsal and added in like some instrumental cues and told her to find some big vocal moments in the song. This started out, the first thing I noticed was that set. Okay, it was beautiful. beautiful. It had waterfalls. It had all these flowers all over the place and a veranda. I was like, what's going on? And Aaliyah plopped down in the middle of all of it. She sounded very pure and sweet on this lyric and was visibly tapping out the rhythm with her foot as she approached the steps. She was so adorable, just tap, tap, tapping away all over the stage. I was like, go, keep that rhythm, girl. No matter what, keep that rhythm. And she hit the stage and really got on top of those high notes with some roundness. Wasn't too bright or harsh. The praise dancer choir was interesting and added some extra energy to the visual. Oh, just very sweet, but is it enough to get her into the finale? Let me know down in the comments. That is it for the commentary for tonight. I don't know about y'all, but I thought tonight was one of the best nights with every single person bringing it. I mean, they were singing for their life tonight. Well, I was like so excited. Let me know who you are voting for. Tomorrow, 4 will be going home. Who is going to be in the bottom 4? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Tomorrow night, DNCE and Big Boy will be performing, and I will see you then. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com. I am out.